Ross, difficult afternoon, I think it's safe to say. Give us your initial thoughts on today's defeat.
Yeah, scoreline doesn't look nice. A big learning one for the young ones on the pitch today. No, credit to Dagenham. They created some chances and took them. They were very clinical today. Scored some good goals as well. Over a kick in there as well. So one that we need to move on from fairly quickly. It's not one we need to dwell on too much. There was a lot of players on the pitch with not much experience, and today it just showed it. And that's where we are. We're riddled with injuries, and I think it's clear from the side to see that as well. But yeah, the list goes on with the injury list. But we've got to do more than what we've done today, and the young ones will learn a lot from today. That sometimes young ones think they should be playing, and today they've had a bit of a taste of it, and it was a tough one, a real tough one to take. So characters, 2, 3, maybe 4 players who stood up and really worked their socks off. But it just wasn't enough today, and Dagenham were really clinical, so give them credit for that.
6 changes to the team on Tuesday, all in force, but that just scratches the surface when you look through the squad. I mean, we're not making excuses, we're not going to do that, but when you have 8, 9, maybe even 10 players that aren't fully fit, when you take that away from any team in the Premier League, then there's a problem there. Never mind us that will, everyone knows our situation. Yeah. Is any more detail you can give on those 6 changes and like the state of the squad at the moment?
Yeah, obviously the last result versus Woking was a tough one, but we lost our whole back three. Canis, Andre and Robbo, all injured or took knocks that weren't able to start the game today or play. Naya took a whack, didn't train Thursday. None of those boys trained Thursday. So it was a tough one. Josh Parker, bit of a hamstring fatigue in there as well. So it was a tough one having Zach McEachran out as well, and Tafari Moore out as well, and Pierre going down with diarrhoea today. So we were very light, and the young ones had to step in. But I think it's a big learning curve for the whole team, not just the young ones. I think the young ones will learn. We've all been. I look at Phil Crocker, 17, just come out of academy football, playing against Effion, who's a senior, experienced, very good striker in this league. So I think it's a big lesson for him. He'll learn a lot from today. He'll learn that the league is really tough, and you get punished from half mistakes. And today we did that. But I think when you look around and we look in the stand and we see who we are missing, sometimes we can't beat ourselves up too much. They're the boys who brought us through last season and been really sort of gems for us this year. Ashby coming back to full fitness as well. So a tough one. We didn't have a striker on the bench to replace Harvey. So yeah, I think it's one we have to reflect back on quickly and get over, because we don't want to keep dwelling on the injury list, but it is there and it's lingering around, so we've got to move on.
We can dissect the game. They scored 3 worldy goals, really. Sometimes you've got to put your hands up, but there was a fair share of ones that we thought we could have done better in, I imagine.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of goals, so we have to remember them as best we can. But I remember 2 good strikes and 1 overhead kick. The other goals were a little bit scrappy, maybe cutback ones. But I think we actually scored a good goal ourselves. Good bit of play, building out from the back, out to the right side, good crossing and a back post locked and a header. A little bit of moment of quality and a little bit of class, and we scored. But it comes back to sort of just seeing the game out in moments and experience that we probably didn't have on the pitch. We had 1, 2, maybe 3 players who are experienced at this level now. But yeah, real tough one for the young ones to digest today. But I've just said to Phil, look, you'll get better from this. This is throwing you in the deep end, and sometimes it's a good thing to do. But today it was a tough one to take.
It will sting. It'll sting for you. It'll sting for the players, staff, supporters. How do you pick the players up after that? We say it all the time, don't we? The mood might be a little bit more down than usual, obviously, with that scoreline. But again, I imagine the mantra stays the same, right? Yeah,
it does. The scoreline obviously doesn't look good, nor does it feel good. But I think if you can just see from the outside the cards that were being dealt at times with injuries, and you get 1 back, you lose 2, you get 2 back, you lose 1, and I think throughout the whole season we've been able to pick the same team twice. So whether that's an off the pitch issue we've got to address, whether we need to get stronger and look after ourselves better, we're breaking down too easily. But that's the demands of this level. It's a physical level. The demands are high. Whether it's the part-time issue of only training a couple of days a week. We need to accept it but address it, because yeah, it's really difficult to have those bodies out of the team and trying to win a game of football. We want to come in and get something, of course. The young ones, you know, they do their best. They're triers. They do really try. But today it was just a little bit naive defending, and we got punished on some clinical attacks by Dagenham, and that's, you know, give credit to Dagenham. They took their chances.
We go again though. Saturday at home to Southend. You have a week to work on the training ground. We'll be eager to put today's wrongs right, won't we?
Yeah, 100%. I think we have to reflect where we are and where we've come from. We've done very well to get promoted last season. We've entered a league that is very physical, full time, and, you know, really key players, good players, experienced players, good budgets, big crowds. We need to accept what we are right now, and we need to keep giving it a good go, because we've got more than enough ability in the squad. Whether we can get some of those back for Saturday, that's something we need to work on this week, on Tuesday, to see the fitness levels of some and how the injuries look, because Ashby took another whack here and he looks quite sore. There's a few sore bodies as well, so dropping like flies maybe, but Tuesday we've got some time now till next game Saturday to try and repair some boys, bandage them up and roll them out again, because that's what we need today.
Final question for me is on our fans actually. I mean, sometimes you see match of the day, whatever highlights, and the fans will be streaming out, but I think every single one of our fans stayed right to the end. I mean, the players clapping them at the end. I mean, we've got to keep going for them. And a message for them fans today?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. I think they see the level we're at. I think they see the stadiums we're visiting and the fan base that other clubs have. I think they appreciate where we are and where we've come from. We're probably a couple seasons ahead of where we need to be and where we should be, but we will never shy away from the fact we got promoted, and we want to address things. But I think the fans, they do appreciate that the boys really try, and they sweat for the club, and the boys are running through walls for the shirt, and the support, you know, at home and away has been brilliant. We just ask them to keep on coming and make some noise, and, you know, try and get behind the boys, because, you know, we need that 12th man. We don't have many players as it is, so we need a few more. But I think that's a real positive, that they still come out in their numbers and support us. Even though it's tough, it's difficult, but I think everyone can see from the outside that this level is a tough level. And we are the smallest club in the league, and we're trying to compete with some of the big boys. And I think yeah, injuries has killed it a little bit, but we'll keep going. We'll keep the positivity going. We've got a nice week now to rest up and bandage them up, and hopefully roll them out Saturday and put a better performance in against Southend.
Ross, thanks very much for your time.
Cheers.